Hi, this is Rod Ballard. I'm your instructor for Marketing 463, Integrated Marketing Communications, California Baptist University. And I'm going to show you a short, sweet, to-the-point way of performing an analysis of variance, otherwise known as an ANOVA. Now, this is a follow-on to the more lengthy video that I published earlier this week. I believe it was on Monday, which gave you plenty of detail of what a means is and what a means comparison is, and what all of the background of what the statistical analysis involves and what it means. Now I'm going to show you how to do it. Now this is the main screen in the PSPP program that I've downloaded, that you probably downloaded. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my file, and I'm not going to import the data like that. I'm going to open the file, and I'm going to open one of these Marketing 463 statistical quiz data sheets. Notice the save extension .save, and this is found in Learning Activities in week 2, and I'm going to open it. And what I see in the data view down here is all of the data that we would have gotten from interviewing and conducting the survey with our survey group, a total of 200 people, whom we asked a series of 6 questions to, in the order of how important is price, how important is quality, how important is knowledgeable service or knowledgeable salesman, how important is speed of service, those kinds of things pertaining to a Toyota vehicle. The other view is a variable view, and you see what's been loaded from that data file. And I expand it here a little bit so you can see. The value labels show that we have not important at all. That would be something that a respondent would say it's not important. And down here I would strongly disagree with whatever the statement happened to be. And so in this case, we're looking at lines 6 through lines 11. So this would be what is known in the name of X1 through X6. And what we're asking is how important is a large selection of automobiles for you when making a buying decision? Or how important is a competent sales team? How important is overall quality of the car? And how important is the speed of service? And how important is the atmosphere of the dealership? And how important are prices? And of these, which is most important of the 6? Now, these questions are re-asked a second time, beginning with X7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, and 12. So X7 through 12, and they're the same questions that we ask: how important is price and quality and the salesmanship and the dealership and so forth. I come up to Analyze, and I come down to Compare Two Means. I come over and look. Here's our one-way ANOVA, and this is what the screen that pops open. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the ANOVA the way that the data set is configured. I'm going to take X7 through X12, so that's how important is a large selection, how important is the dealership, how important is quality, how important is price, how important is speed of service. And I'm going to bring those over into this area. And then in this factor, I've got to go down to what's known as X22. This is what compares the 3 vehicles, Toyota, Nissan, and Volkswagen, I believe that it is. So I'm going to type in X22. I'm going to add what the descriptors are, and I'm going to set OK. And the first thing I wonder, and other people, where in the world did it go? And where it went to is in this Output tab, right besides the table, over to the Output tab, and we see that with the descriptors, what we see are our 6 questions. How important is a large selection to you? All the way down through how important are prices to you when making a decision about purchasing a car. Now, in the means column over here, the higher the number, the more favorable a respondent is to that particular choice. So this, how important is selection to you? Well, we see right here that the respondents happen to think that a Nissan has a broader selection than Toyota. And they happen to think that a Volkswagen of 2.77 has less of a selection than Toyota. And this is of the 200 respondents that were in our survey, and there's the distribution across all three automobiles. Now the same way with how important is competent sales team, the dealership. And we come over here and we can see that Nissan looks like they're at the top of the list again. And Toyota is down here, goodness, at 3. So we've got a lot of work to do. If we think that we're doing really good, but our consumers are telling us differently than that, they're saying that Nissan and Volkswagen are eating our lunch from a standpoint of confidence in the dealership. What about overall car quality? Well, it's a different story here because, well, no, it isn't. You've got Nissan. Nope, sorry about that. You've got Toyota at 6.86. So we come in at number 1, followed closely by Nissan, and then followed more closely by Volkswagen. I guess that's an obvious statement. If we come down to pricing, same thing, comparing means. We see that 5.49, or 5.50 rather, Nissan is the top of the pack just by a bit. We're number 2, and Volkswagen's number 3. Now the assignment instructions ask you to come up with 3 questions. How important is this, that, or the other for your particular analysis with Feels Like a Pro or IT Solutions. But because all of this data is configured for 6 questions, I would ask you to go ahead and do the 6 questions that according to the data, and that's these: how important selection, dealership, quality, warranty, and go ahead and, if you're really ambitious, you can put your own questions in these fields, or you can take this data and, like the instructions give us a prerogative of doing, you can go ahead and build it around Nissan. Purpose is for you to get to understand how this is configured using certain kinds of software, including the Excel program and the Excel documents that I sent you earlier today. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this table and these means and paste them into section B in our statistical analysis and our marketing research section right here. What you also might do, let's see if I go back, you might do some research to discover what this information is and how valuable it is and what you would do with it. I'm going to move this over to our section B and put it beneath. And then what you'll do is you'll give a narrative explanation, a paragraph or 2 on each table, explaining what the information tells you and why that's important for you as a marketing manager with Toyota in determining what's important with consumers and what should be most important to Toyota in developing cars in the future. And that's how you run an ANOVA.